Agent Zero here, and welcome back to another episode of Map Builders, where today we're not actually on the puzzle map. We're actually here in my redstone testing world, and in front of me, or behind me, I guess, depending on your point of view from where I'm standing, this is what I have done so far for the next level of this map. So so let me go ahead and explain to you what this level is going to end up being and why. Sure. I have no idea why I was moving so slow. Anyway, so yeah, I've already got half of the third level figured out. Now, what this third level is going to be? It's going to be called Card Case, and the way it's going to work is that, you guys know how, like, when your parents or something go to work, they have a key card that they have to swipe in order to gain access to the workroom, and you can't get in any other way. Well, this is basically the exact same concept. This is what that level is going to end up being, except we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. So before we go ahead and get started and showing you what I have done, I actually have a quick build that I need to show you guys, and I forgot to grab the stuff I need for this. It shouldn't take too long to get the materials I need. So I do know we need a hopper. I do know we need a dropper. Actually, let's get rid of this block. I do know we need those two items. And do I have everything? Yeah, I think I have everything. Okay, so what I'm going to be showing you guys right at the moment is how you build the detector circuit. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I have figured out. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put down what's going to detect our items, and then we're going to come on this side, put our hopper down. Actually, not hopper, this is a dropper. And then we put a hopper facing into the dropper. And then we put a button somewhere nearby so that we know we can use it. I suppose I could put it right here instead. Yeah. So then the next thing we want to do is put a block right here. Come around to this side. Now, you don't actually have to do it exactly the way I'm doing it, but just understand exactly what it is I'm doing. So we put a comparator facing out of the side of the hopper, and then you want to put a block right here, and you want to put a block right here. Now, you do not actually have to set it up this way. I just find this easier. Actually, I want to give credit to YouTuber Mumbo Jumbo. He's a PC YouTuber that he does a lot of redstone work, so I gotta give credit to him for showing me this, because he did a tutorial in the middle of a survival episode. But anyway, yeah, so what you want to do is that from this comparator, you want to put down 2 pieces of redstone dust. Now, you can actually have those 2 pieces of redstone dust coming out directly from the comparator, or you can run the comparator into a block and then the redstone. It doesn't matter. Then what you want to do is run it into a block after setting down 2 pieces of redstone dust, and then you want to put a redstone torch down like this. Now, that's the building half of this detector. The next half of the detector actually requires filling the hopper. So what we do, we're going to go into here. We need to put in something that we are going to use to detect whether or not we can actually use it. Actually, now that I think about it, what I'm actually going to end up also doing is I'm going to take a repeater and put it on this side, and then put a redstone line like this, and then a block right here, and then a redstone lamp right here. Now, this can actually be linked up to anything you want it to be linked up. Just be aware that I'm just doing this as part of an example. Anyway, back to the hopper. We want to go to our hopper, and we want to fill its inventory, okay? So I'm going to put this item in first, and then you want to chuck in some random items, 1, 2, 3, and then this last one, you want to put in 18 of whatever the last item is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because when a comparator is looking at a block with an inventory, and it doesn't have to be a hopper, it actually calculates a percentage as to how full that item is. So if we go back into the hopper, we've got our 18 items right here, 19, 20, 21, 22. That 22 items is going to set off a redstone signal of 1. So that means it's powering this piece of redstone, which if I go ahead and do this and show you, okay, never mind. It's supposed to. I don't know why it's not, but anyway, it's supposed to actually give a redstone output, unless I'm doing something wrong. No, I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, I think what I actually need to do is do this maybe. Yes, it's actually active. Never. Okay, so apparently I can't do it with the redstone dust, but this works. But that at least shows that it's giving redstone power. So then the next thing you want to be aware of is when you go into here, you want to put one item into it. And oh, I guess that was a bad choice because there's already redstone lamps in there. Okay, never mind. Let's pull this redstone lamp out and put in. Okay, that was a mistake on my part. I apologize, guys, for doing that. So anyway, yeah, we've put a carpet back in here. So now what we want to actually do is put in an item of which is not in the hopper. So we have this blue carpet, we have the redstone lamp, redstone repeater, redstone comparator, redstone dust. So now what we want to do is actually put in an item that is not in the hopper. Okay? So then now if we push this button, nothing happens. That's because the hopper's inventory is full and therefore you can't actually put anything into it. However, as you guys notice, if you actually put something into it that is already in the hopper, like this blue carpet, it will actually give a short redstone output because it's going into the hopper and the hopper is putting it back directly into the dropper. Now, the thing you want to be aware of is that whatever item you want to use as your opening mechanism, your key card, whatever you want to call it, has to be in this first spot right here, because otherwise because the way hoppers work is that when they have a full inventory, when they're emptying their inventory into another block, they go in the order of which the item is put. So that being said, I accidentally put in the redstone lamp and that went into this slot, and then this blue carpet actually got spat back out. So yeah, so the fact that I made that mistake is very, very important to you guys, so you guys know not to do that. I just kind of derped out a little bit. Sorry. Anyway, so here we are at the actual testing of what this level is going to end up being. Now, this door right here is actually the one that you use to enter the level, if you guys hadn't guessed. And then this door is the one where you've completed the level. You can go ahead and progress. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. Okay, so in here we actually have the circuits set up. So let me go ahead and quickly go around. So we already have these circuits set up. Now, I did already do some testing regarding these redstone blocks and the redstone lamps that are inside the build. I did a number of tests where I have these redstone blocks powering the lamps are not actually affecting the circuit. So yeah, that's a good thing to know, because I'd spent a good 5-10 minutes trying to figure something out and finally did it. Anyway, so what we have is that when we actually put items into the hoppers, it's going to not only trigger the redstone torch, which is turning the yeah, I forgot to mention that what's going on there. Pardon me for a moment, guys. So when you actually put an item in there, you've got 22 items in the hopper, and when you add that 23rd item, that is going to change the redstone signal from 1 to 2, which means that signal of 2 is enough to turn this redstone torch off. That redstone torch is actually what's keeping the items in the hopper. I forgot to mention that. Anyway, so yeah, it's going to end up turning off this redstone torch for this dropper, and then the same for these two. And then we have a short torch tower. These are going to run into these redstone lamps, which once activated is not only going to turn the torch off, it is also going to pulse the lamp on. And then we've got all three set up right here and an AND gate. And these repeaters are actually set up so that they go off at the same time, which means once they're all off at the same time, this redstone torch will turn on, which means it'll power this redstone dust and repeater, and it will trigger this flip-flop circuit, which means and then once this circuit is powered, that means it's going to send signal to the door and permanently open the door. So I actually already have part of it set up. So if I quickly go ahead and start breaking down these walls, floor, I mean. So what we have here is that this button right here is going into this block right here, which is turning off torches, which is turning off the repeaters, which turns these torches on. So that's how that works. If I could actually use my controller today, that'd be helpful. Yeah, I want to apologize for not getting Build Battle out yesterday. My recording failed, and then when well, it didn't exactly fail, it just kind of got corrupted as I tried to edit it, and the entire recording was completely useless. So I do want to apologize for that, but don't worry, I will attempt Build Battle again next week. Don't you guys worry about that. But anyway, we already have the droppers. I get these two mixed up. I apologize. We have our droppers set up, so we have our redstone dust in each of these. So once we push this button, it's going to send the redstone dust into the hoppers. So let me quickly pull out the redstone dust out of these two droppers. Now if I go ahead and push this button, you're going to hear a click. That redstone lamp is going to turn on. Now when I actually implement this into the map, that's just a signal to say, okay, that key card is in fact in the correct spot. So that's how that works. So you saw that this lamp turned on for a moment. So now if we come to over here and we put another piece of redstone dust in and we push the button yet again, we have the clicking, and then those two lamps both turn on. And then this is where the magic really happens, or the science, or depending on how you want to call it. So all three droppers are filled, all three have the correct item in it. If we go ahead and push this button, we're not going to have a click because they're not empty. The lamps will turn on momentarily, and there we go, our door is going to be permanently open. And so basically what happened here is that this turned on, which turned this torch off, which allowed this torch to turn on, and it stayed in the permanent on state. So if I quickly destroy this and then I put down a repeater again, okay, it is going to close the door. So let me quickly start flying. So we're going to see this, and that's what's going to open the door. So that's how that works. Now I have to do the other half of the actual room itself, which is what's going to be giving us our key cards. Now how these key cards are going to end up working, actually I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up making this particular room of the level of 3-part series, because I still need to figure out how I'm going to end up dispensing the key cards, because here's the way I want to do it. You're going to be pushing a button and it's going to give you one of several different key cards, and which key card it gives you is completely random. And you're only able to put certain key cards into these droppers, and you're not going to know which key card you're going to put in until you press this button and figure out whether or not it's correct. I have yet to figure that part out, and then I actually have to put it into the level, into the map itself. Now, as you guys notice, you cannot actually put an item into the hopper that is not the correct item. So we did actually end up putting in items. So say we go ahead and get rid of this redstone dust and we put in a wooden plank. So it's going to attempt to put it into the hopper but cannot do it. And there it's silent, and that light did not turn on because obviously it was not the correct item. Now the way we're going to detect as to if it's the correct item or not is actually through the use of an anvil. So if I pull this out really quick, okay, and let me pull out some carpet that I can name. You know what, let's grab some white carpet. So if I go ahead and put in here, I'm going to grab 6 of these carpets, and I'm going to go ahead and change the name of these carpets. There we go, there's my keyboard. So I'm just going to name it key card. Key card. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and pull this off. So then now what I'm going to do is go into here. I'm going to get rid of the redstone dust out of all 3 of these. So if only my controller would let me select items faster. It used to be able to just, oh, never mind. Okay, and then what we want to do is come over to here, and we do want to do the exact same thing. So now we're going to take out this redstone dust, and we're going to put in our key cards. Now, when it's actually being put into the level, and I will say it is going to end up being carpets, but they're going to be named different things, but it's going to be 3 different colors of carpets, and that's going to make it a little more difficult to figure out exactly how to figure out which ones you're doing. So let me go ahead and, oh, it's over here, isn't it? Okay, I built it and I'm already forgetting what to do. Okay, so now we go into these and we go ahead and put our carpets in here, put key card there, put key card here, and now in here we don't put in the key card, we put in the regular carpet. Now if we go ahead and push this button, because it's not labeled key card and it's just carpet, it does not turn on. So that's the way the level is going to end up working. And like I said, they're going to have different names. They're going to end up being different colors. I still need to figure out how you're going to end up getting the key cards. That's still going to be a little bit of a problem. So now just to show you guys for the last time that you have to have the right item in it. I know you guys probably already understand what's going on, but you know what? I'm just doing it because I can, and that opens the door just like you usually would. Now, if you remember back to the first episode where I showed you the lights out puzzle, now we do still have our doorway to get back to the room where all the rules are going to be placed. Now I haven't worked out how I'm going to go about doing that, but I have to come up with something eventually. Now next week I'm going to attempt to do the other half of this room, which is going to be how you go about getting your key cards, and it's only going to be 1 key card at a time, so you got to test each key card individually. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do, but for right now, I'm going to end this off here. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you're looking forward to the next part of this map, which is also going to be here within my redstone testing world, make sure to hit that like button down below. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, I will see you guys later.